Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to episode 459 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. This is Friday morning. Friday, December 8th. I do want to start out today by saying congratulations. Congratulations to the Aliquippa Quips, guys. Aliquippa
Yes.
goes to the state championship game and they play Dallas, a team named Dallas from across the state. Aliquippa wins in convincing fashion, fellas. They win 60-14. It was over before it even began. It was just one
That's
of these.
complete domination.
It was, and this is the best that the other state has to offer. But on the other hand, our single A team, Fort Cherry, did take the L yesterday. They lost 42-8 to Stilton Highshire. So Aliquippa gets the win, and Quad A, Fort Cherry takes the loss. Today, Double A, Westinghouse, the City League team, who's 13-0, they will be playing Southern Columbia, who's 14-1. This game's at 1 o'clock. I'm going to predict that Southern Columbia wins this game because they're in this game every year and they seem like they win it every year. And then the later game today is going to be a 6A game between Peters Township, who's 15-0 here from the western part of the state, against Imahop Charter Institute School,
Easy for you to say.
who's 14-0, and they played 7 o'clock tonight. One cool thing about that Dallas Quip game, Dallas was a public school. It's not often that you get a public school when you play the other side of the state in these state championships. They have a lot of these huge charter schools where they could go out and they could recruit. So that was kind of a cool thing. Tomorrow, guys, it gets wrapped up with a Bell Vernon and Northwestern Lehigh. That's the AAA game. They'll be at 1 o'clock tomorrow, and then the late game is going to be the big one, the 6A game between North Allegheny and St. Joseph's Prep. That's 6A. That's going to be at 7 o'clock. So check it out. Congratulations to the Aliquippa Quips. They
Heck yeah, baby.
bring it home. I think this is the third Aliquippa state championship since Coach Mike Warfield took over there. And what else can you say?
That was the only game in the area that was played last night.
Yeah.
So podcast over. Goodbye, everyone.
And
Nothing else to talk about, baby.
There's literally no other football.
I don't know. Like everyone's talking about. Did you see the game last night? It was so disappointing. I don't know what game you're talking about.
What was you rooting for Dallas?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I gotta say, the Steelers, they did lose 21-18 to the New England Patriots, back-to-back losses. The two-win teams at home in pretty much must-win situations. This team, they're the laughing stock of the league right now. They really are. It's, we talk about how the mighty has fallen and the Patriots are doing what they do. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the laughing stock of this league. I can't imagine that this team will make the playoffs. They dropped out of the playoff spots last night. They dropped to the 8th seed. The teams that are ahead of them now are the Houston Texans, who beat us, the Indianapolis Colts, who we have next, and there's a good chance they beat us. The Bengals, at this point, there's a good chance that they may beat us, and after that's the Seahawks and the Ravens to finish out the year. Must win at home against the two-win team 2 weeks in a row. You shit the bed. You can't do anything. It's not even like they're resembling a team that could be in the playoffs. If there's any point for that Jim Mora
playoffs,
it would be
playoffs.
Yeah. It would be now, because you're still going to hear people saying, "Well, if you want to get in the play, this team ain't making the playoffs, guys.
We can't win diddly poo."
This team, there's so much to say. That this team needs a complete overhaul. And and the thing was, we were hanging on a thread to begin with. They wasn't a good team to begin with. We got a little pre-excited during preseason.
Yeah, a little bit too excited.
I mean, the team was built on lemons. If you think about it, everything that we brought in this offseason to help us out were lemons. You might as well go out and buy 5 cars from it was not good from day one.
I don't know. I'm looking. I saw comments online like saying Omar Khan built a bad team. I went through his free agent signing and draft picks, and they're not the problem.
Well, we have half a team that's not available because of injuries that we knew prior to that these were injury prone guys. When you buy a lemon, you get a lemon. And I'm not to the point where I'm saying that we got conned just yet,
No, not even close.
but if you build a team on lemons, you're going to get lemons, and that's what we have. And we're down to, when it comes down to you need depth, you need a lot of things that we don't have.
Well, I yeah, we lost our starting linebackers, but look at Michael Walker. He had that big, huge interception. Blake Martinez, guys that were signing off the streets came in and performed last night.
What good does it do if your guy gets an interception? You take it down and you go for it on fourth down and lose the
Oh,
possession.
lose the bet.
I mean,
Hey, he made the play. He made a huge play. The offense
all right,
failed. This
made a
team is
play.
a
Good
failure.
for him. That's very
Well,
good.
yeah, that's what he's fucking
I'm proud of
supposed to
him.
do.
I'm
Okay.
Mike,
So
do
he's
you
just
hear what
gonna
I'm saying? I'm
disrupt
saying
the
I'm
ball.
proud of him.
No. You're like, oh, I'm proud of him.
Mike,
He made
yeah,
an
that's the
interception.
exact words I said. Yes, I'm proud of him. Good for
There's
him.
the tone of voice and like,
Mike,
oh,
I'm
he's
not. You're not my
to.
wife. Don't do that. Listen, this team has a lot of problems. This
Yeah,
team
but
has.
they're not. But there are some bright spots.
That's not Michael Walker. He made a good play. Okay.
Yeah, he made a
Listen,
good play.
the past 2 weeks we've been getting our asses whooped on defense. We haven't been stopping the run. We haven't been playing good defense, and we can't say that Michael Walker's doing great things because he had a ball that bounced out off of
Did I
somebody
say he
into his
did a great
hands.
thing? I said no. He made
No,
a play from a guy.
You're blowing up what he did, and it really
No.
doesn't
He
matter.
made a key play. I'm saying Omar Khan was able to find this guy out of nowhere.
Okay, good.
This
Okay.
this late in the season to
If
fill
this
in
is
for
what we
people
want to
that
hang
we've
on, if
lost.
this is the silver
No, I'm
lining,
not just saying to hang on. I'm just pointing out the
there's
fact
so
that
much more to talk about.
I
don't
know
think
there
we
is,
should
and I'm
even
just saying
debate
you're saying
Michael
this team was built
Walker.
on lemmings, and
We
there's a
did build
lot of
on
good
lemons. Half of our team is injured right now because they were injury prone people coming in. We knew this.
Getting one injury in your career does not make you injury prone.
Mike Cole Holcomb has been injury prone. Quan Alexander's been injury prone. It's not true. They've go
Quan
back.
Alexander, was injury prone, but Landon Roberts was
So
not.
as
He
you
came out
go
and
on to
played.
defend this team, most people
I'm not defending this team. I'm
will
just
read
saying
between the lines and see that what's really going on here. They have
wow. Well, who pissed in your Cheerios?
Mike, this isn't good. I'm here to talk about what's going on with the Steelers, and for some reason, you're fighting me every inch of the way.
I'm not fighting you every inch of the way.
You are fighting me everything
No,
I said so far. You've fought me every inch of the way. So, if you please let me continue, then we can talk about what happened here. I have many things to say about the things that you've already brought up in context, but you're jumping around. So, if we can continue,
but okay.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead and run the show, brother.
Okay, you run the show. No, you're the one who thinks you run the show completely from top to bottom. So go ahead, bud.
I never, Mike. Go ahead, bud. You have so much to say. I would really like to hear what you have to say. I'm respectfully stepping back and hearing what you have to say because everything that I've said, you've literally fought against. So I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to fight with you.
This is what we've
Why
always
is it against me? What is this against
you would
me?
say
What's
something, then I would say something. That's how we do it, man. We bounce back and forth.
Go ahead, man.
No,
you have so much to say. You want to be involved, and you want to, I think I run the show from thought. But please, by all means,
no.
I do. I'm giving you the opportunity.
You were saying something like we always do. You say something, then I say something. You say something, I say something.
And then you begin to attack me.
I didn't attack you until you said
I'm the one that runs the show.
You're the one who was like, you said, I'm not your wife. Don't talk to me like that. When I brought up that someone made a good play. And apparently,
that's not what I made that comment about. But if that's what you think, go ahead and keep writing about because you're obviously have. All right, I don't want you to quit. So I'm going to continue on here. This team has no heart. This team is lifeless. This team is predictable. This team is outplayed. This team has been outcoached. This team runs the same 8 plays over throughout the course of every game. The play calling's bad. The defense got shredded. We leave points on the field. Our coaching staff and coordinators can't figure it out, obviously. We run trick plays on the 1-yard line. We have illegal formation penalties in week 14. It's a lot of problems. We have 2 offensive coordinators and a head coach, and the offense is getting worse 2 weeks after we fire Matt Canada. There's so much with this team. The coach has lost this locker room. People don't believe in this coaching staff that's on the team. And again, you get 2 must-win games at home against 2 2-win teams. There's not much silver lining. I do have a couple players marked under silver lining situations. I think that Landon Roberts played out of his mind last night. He had a sack. He was solid. Um, Jalen Warren, I thought, ran the ball well. Couldn't get out of the backfield much because of the defense. But again, we run the same 8 plays. That happens. And if you don't have that other where you can't pass the ball well, you're stuck doing that, and it's easier to tee off on if you are the defense. I thought Nick Herbig. I'm sorry. I thought Nick Herbig hustled his ass off. He didn't make many plays, but if you're watching the game, this guy's head is in the game. And the one other guy that I would say that if you're looking for silver lining would be Killebrew, who blocks a punt late in the game and keeps the Steelers, in the game and gives them an opportunity, which they failed. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the laughing stock of the NFL, and there's not much that could be said to make one believe otherwise. At this point, no matter what side of the fence you're on, there's not really much left that you can say to defend this team.
Yeah, this team has been set up for failure for the past. Oh God, when did Ben get hurt? 2019. There was no succession plan in place for what are we going to do after Ben retires? How are we going to build this team? It has been haphazard. We're just going to throw money at Cam Hayward. We're going to throw money at TJ Watt. We're going to throw money at Minka Fitzpatrick. We're going to throw money at Chup Shakur Ford, who can't block anyone. We're going to throw money at Alex Highsmith, who can't do anything without TJ Watt. We're going to throw money at Deontay Johnson. There was no plan from going back from when Kevin Colbert and Tomlin and Art Rooney II were running this team. And we're finally starting to get a plan now, but this is going to take a long process to make this team right again. And at this point, you just got to start over. If I'm Art Ernie, I'm pulling Omar Khan in and saying, hey, you know what? You're going to be my GM. You and Andy Weedle are going to rebuild this team. Call all 31 other teams in this league and say, hey, every player and every coach is available for trade. And then just rebuild this team in your image and see what happens, because it can't be any worse than what we have right now.
I don't see
about
much
a hodgepodge. I'm talking about a hodgepodge of nothingness. That's kind of what this team is starting to resemble. From like there's pieces here, but are there enough pieces?
This team to even worry about playoffs at this point in the season,
it's so far
is
out.
crazy. I think what this team is in danger of is having a losing season. I really honestly believe this. You're seeing it 7-6 with games against the Colts, Bengals, Seahawks, and Ravens,
all losable,
which are all winnable games if you didn't just lose the 2 games that you lost.
Yeah.
If you were sitting at this point and you're 8-4, whatever, I don't know what it'd be, 8-4. If you won those 2 games and you're looking at those teams, you're feeling a little bit better about yourself. But the fact that you lost both of those games in the fashion, I mean, this team kicked our ass. It's 21-18, but you watched the game. It was they kicked our ass. This team kicked our ass.
Yeah, we knew coming in, because we talked about it. Like their defense, what was it, 26 points in the last 4 games? We knew points were going to be hard to come by. But like, what the hell was our defense? Bailey Zappi, 3 touchdowns in the first half? Like, I know we give up yards, and you would think those yards would just turn into field goals. What the F is going on? It's like last week, Faulkner was, said in the media sessions, like, we tell the players, don't take people lightly. And what the fuck do they do every week? They take them lightly. And it looks like the coaches take them lightly too.
Nobody was ready for this game, Mike.
No, just to send my God, it's god awful. You and I, we've watched this team for decades and we've never seen it this bad. Never.
And to make all the comments that they made all week long about how we weren't ready, we didn't go out and play the card. This should have been the total opposite of what it was last night. This team should have been firing on all cylinders. And they were the exact opposite. They played probably worse than they did last week. And that just makes you wonder, Mike, is it basically for whatever reason, and I don't know what it is, did this team in a way kind of give up already?
It kind of feels that way. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of locker room leadership. Like, I don't know if you heard like saw the little post game with Deontay Johnson. He was asked about, George being frustrated, and Deontay was like, yeah, I can tell he's frustrated. That's why I'm always talking to him. Hey, I need you to keep, be understand you're frustrated, but keep your head right so it doesn't affect you from the next play. When like no disrespect to Deontay Johnson, but when he's like your locker room leader on offense right now, is that a really good?
No,
Is that a recipe for success? Because he's prone to having the pouts on the sideline, but at least he recognizes that it's not the right thing to do, and he's trying to help. But I want more. Where's the most teams have like their offensive linemen, their quarterbacks or team leaders. Kenny, he's a rah guy. He gets the guys motivated, but like I don't see it. And then the only other player you hear taking any responsibility after this game was Trubisky saying, "I let everyone down. I let the team down. I let the guys down." There seems to be a lot of not a lot of leadership on that team
let me
anymore, which
ask you,
is
Mike.
weird because there's always been leadership on that team.
Let me ask you. Say next week comes around. We have all the way until next Saturday to wait
Mm-hmm.
because we played the Colts on Saturday of next week. Would you be in favor of giving Rudolph a look? I mean, at this point, you're not really
At this
building.
point, yeah, why
You're
At
not
not?
this
really.
point, yeah.
You're not really building any momentum with what we
No,
have
yeah,
going on. If that was the case, it would be different. However, after what happened last night, I don't think it would be the worst idea in the world to take a look at the next quarterback in line.
no,
Why not?
why not? That's what you have to. You're going to have to do it. God, I know it's going to make Derpy happy because he's a big Mason Rudolph guy, right,
I'm
Derpy?
more of a Mitch fan.
No, you love Mason Rudolph, but at this point, is it going to be any
Derpy.
worse than what we've seen all year? Like, I thought we had,
Probably
coming into the
not.
season, we had a decent quarterback room, but my God, it's like watching a bunch of monkeys try to hump a doorknob out there with the quarterback play, with the whole offensive play. It's just,
I gotta
I
say,
Let's throw a deep pass on 4th and 2.
fucking
fourth
line
and
to fucking
two.
chuck it. And the thing that sucks is there was no one open underneath either for a check down.
You
It
should
was,
be. You should be at some point be able to do something that looks what somewhat resembles a football team. And
yeah,
we're having a very hard time doing that, whether it be on a fourth down, two, throwing the ball down the field, anything. There should be at some point you should have something in your pocket to where okay,
mm-hmm.
let's do this just so we can get to the next level and maybe give ourselves another chance.
Yeah.
That's not happening. One good thing that I seen during this game is when Darnell Washington had a nice catch and run.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, my opinion on him is, they keep going on about how great of a passer, blocker he is, but you have a guy 6'7", 265 pounds. You gotta throw. Here's the thing, he's not retarded. Throw him a fucking football, he's gonna catch it.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, have him go 10 yards, turn around, and if he's open, hit him. There's not rocket science involved. I'm starting to totally disbelieve everything that this team and all the bullshit that they've been putting out all along because it's bullshit. Nothing that they said is adding up to what's actually happening.
No, and like we kind of knew like he was a stiff route runner. He had to work on that game. But like you said, how hard is it? Hey, run 3 yards, stop, turn around, and we're going to throw it high to you. Not many people should be able to out jump him, especially if he's put him in the slot and a corner has to cover him.
And especially when you're playing a team that's defensive secondary is pretty bad.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
strength of this bad team was their run defense.
yeah. And you think, okay, we're going to take shots, but we can't. It seems like everyone's forgotten how to run routes, how to get separation. It's just, I've never seen a team forget how to play football within a 2 week span.
And you got to look at this Patriots team. Now, I got to say, they have a shit show of their own. I'm
Yeah.
watching this game. You have over the hill, number 15, Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield.
Yeah, he looked like he was in his prime.
In his prime.
You have Juju, who keeps, moving town to town out there with his number 7 on.
Mr. Bandwagon.
Who had a nice game. I mean, if you the first pass he caught of the game was a long, but these guys were making us look like we were junior high. I mean, it's really, really bad.
It's mind boggling. Like, where the Are we like the tonic for every team that's failing?
You can't figure out how to shut down Juju Smith-Schuster and an aged Ezekiel Elliott, and
Yeah,
as
you
you
deserve to
mentioned,
lose.
Mike Bailey Zappi's the 3 touchdowns in the
You
first half. That's the first time a Patriot quarterback has done it since Brady did it in 18. He was able to accomplish
Oh my
this.
lord.
The Steelers on third down was 3 for 14.
again, that's what's killing us. We can't convert third downs. We can't stop them from converting third downs.
And the thing that people want to talk about this morning is the phantom penalty. And I got to be honest with you, that has a very little.
Yeah, and that's loser mentality right there.
Yeah, I mean, if everything is gonna go down the way that it happened for us for the past 2 weeks, and you're going to worry about a bad call,
Exactly.
that's
Mhm.
Not bad play calling, not poor execution, not players not being ready to play, coaches not being ready to coach. It's
Let's chuck it on 4th and 2.
4th and 2.
like 3rd and 2 is the time you chuck it deep,
I mean, even then,
not
you're
4th and 2.
And here's the other thing: if they're 3rd and 7, they're passing it 4 yards. So
Yeah,
where do you make sense of this?
there is none. It makes, and then the bad thing, like I said, on that play, there's literally no one open. Well, they had like what 3 guys go out in pass coverage, him long and like 2 guys underneath that were covered completely. It made zero sense what they tried to do. I don't get it.
This moment of the game was a very important part of the game. It was 2 minutes and 1 second left
Yeah,
on our own 49-yard line. I mean, it isn't like we were
yeah.
very deep in our own zone. 4th down and 2. They throw the bomb to DJ. I just don't understand, Mike. I'm having a very hard time understanding what it is that they're trying to even do. Like, again, they don't resemble anything that
No.
they don't anything that even resembles a successful team. It doesn't exist. This
Mm-mm.
team is so far off from where they need to be at this point.
Yeah,
The thing was, they were on the tipping point all season. It wasn't like they were great when we were winning. They were,
yeah.
we were getting lucky and winning these football games. So to fall to this side of the fence, it's real bad. I have a very hard time believing that this shit show can make the playoffs at this point. You have other teams that are playing good football,
Hmm.
jockeying for those positions in the playoffs, and then you have us.
No,
I,
we're
again, I would be very, very surprised if this team keeps their head above the water by the end of the season. I think this is the first losing season for Tomlin.
I think so too. And the only good thing about that is it's going to afford us to get a good draft pick.
Yeah.
And hey, if we can land ourselves another player of like a Broderick Jones or Joey Porter Jr., Keanu Benton caliber, that's
Keanu
fine.
Benton went down. Was he okay? I noticed he got hurt late in the game.
I didn't see anything about his injury. I from what I can see, everyone's been talking about Watt and Highsmith. What I've noticed.
And then Watt gets kicked in the head, and he just wasn't the same all game. I don't
No,
know what.
it's been a perfect storm. This was a perfect shit show, is what it was. It's a
And
goddamn shitacane. It was. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Like, what the hell actually happened? Jesus Christ, Derpy, that just scared the shit out of me.
Back-to-back losses to 2-10 teams in must-win games. I mean, these were gifts. Come on,
Yeah,
you gotta admit
yeah.
these were
You
gifts.
figure like the Cardinals one. That's yeah. We should have curbed something. This one,
As you said last week, though, you have that one game in a season, and you could tend to be okay with that if you
yeah,
have that
but when
one
you have
game.
two
It,
and back to back,
you know, it's the first team. The Steelers are the first team in league history with a above 500 record to lose consecutive games to teams at least eight games below 500.
hey, we're making history, boys.
We are
Might not
making
be.
history.
We are making history. I'm trying to find a rosy little ray of sunshine in this shit show of a season and of a team, right?
I have no interest of trying to defend this team at all at this point.
No, neither am I. It
None.
was just
And
bad
it's
play after.
and it's something that we love. We love our football. We hear there's no surprise. Just like for example, for a person, you love somebody, and you can only defend them so much.
Yeah,
They're going to do what they do, and it's just at that point where there's not much more that you could do. You're just like, all right, do your thing, and I guess we'll start over next year.
We're getting to that point with I almost said the Buccos, because that's what we're sounding like right now. Fuck it. There's next year.
Yeah.
So I think that's right now at this point. If they lose next week, it's time to just focus on next year. Just get out of the season as healthy as you can. Evaluate everyone. If there's anyone young on the bench, play them just to see what they got. Like, start putting in Spencer. What's his name?
Spencer Anderson. At this point, he should be playing. Yes.
Yeah, put him in there. Like, hey, can you snap a ball without kicking it into the dirt or over the quarterback's head or to their side? You can. Guess what? You're our new center.
And here's the thing: you're looking at all these problems that we had yesterday, and just as you bring that up, that was something that was last week. So all the problems we had this week, and then you turn around and look at all the problems last week. They're all different problems.
Yeah,
we just have problem on top of problem on top of problem on top of problem. There's no feel.
There's no like, oh, hey, this was a problem. We corrected it. A new one popped up. Okay, we'll correct that one. No, this problem popped up. This one popped up. Guess what? Now we got 2. Now we got 4. Now we got 70 problems.
Is it any surprise that this defense, that's not good? As I said, the rushing defense you hear is a pretty good rushing defense on this Patriots team. But, again, you run those same. I mean, I could identify the play before it's ran, and I'm not a defensive coordinator, nor am I a defensive player in the NFL. And again, I see about 8 plays. And, if somebody's actually, that's good against the run, which the Patriots were, we gave this one on a platter. Let me give you some numbers from the game last night, guys. Bailey Zappi had 240 yards and 3 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott led the Patriots with 68 yards rushing, and Juju Smith-Schuster led the receiving corps with 4 catches and 90 yards. For the Steelers, 190.
And then Zeke had 72 on top of that.
You're right. So on the Steelers offense, Mitch Trubisky
might be better at this point.
I would like to have Mitch Keller right now.
He's being traumatized.
190 yards passing. He did have a touchdown. He had an interception, but I got to tell you, if you watch the first half of this game, he should have had 3 interceptions.
Oh yeah.
The one that got called back because of the penalty, and then there was the one that was dropped. I mean, the ball should have been. There should have been 3 interceptions in the first half. Also, don't get on Mitch because he was the leading rusher for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He ran the ball 8 times and got 30 yards. And he was, in fact, the leading rusher of this football team, guys. That was
He was the team MVP last night.
He was.
He was pretty sad, man.
DJ did have 57 yards and a touchdown, which is encouraging.
It's the end of the world. You got a touchdown again.
He has 2 touchdowns back-to-back weeks, man.
There you go.
He's on.
Mitch
is the guy.
Mitch is the man.
Mitch and him have that connection.
Yeah,
apparently.
Muppet
Can't wait for Pickens
and then
to
no
leave.
one has a connection with George, who might be the best receiver on the team.
Muppet face Mitch. On the defensive side of the ball, Cam Hayward.
Holy shit, I hate you.
Cam leads the way on defense.
I called it.
He did get a sack.
I called it.
Nice play. He had 5 tackles, 1 sack total, or 5 tackles, 1 assisted tackle, and 1 sack.
I called it.
Landon Roberts had 2 tackles, 4 assisted tackles, and a sack. And again, I'm going to compliment Michael Walker had the interception. So, those are your 3 leaders on defense on all 3 levels.
No, Ryan, you're not allowed to compliment him now.
I know. But that is what it is, guys. I can't foreseeably unless they come out next week as looking like a totally different team. But there's been nothing that happened in the past 2 to 4 seasons that would identify that being the case. I would be very surprised. Very surprised. I mean, really, how many of these games you have a good playing Colts team right now? Gardner Minshew throwing the ball around the field. You got the Bengals, who's playing better right now, and a Browning that's throwing the ball over the field.
Better than Joe Burrow.
Then you got to go out to the West Coast to play the Seahawks, and then you play the Ravens, and it would play out that we would end up winning that game, and it wouldn't mean anything, and I could totally see that happening.
Yeah, and we'll drop out of the top 10.
Which Yeah, and I did see, for whatever reason, I didn't read the article, but I did see this morning when I was pulling up these notes, was Lamar Jackson missed some practice this week. I don't
Yeah,
know what it
yeah.
was about, but
He was sick.
okay.
He had an illness.
Who was our
Yeah,
illness? We had somebody just it was it was
Oh,
Deontay last week. That's
yeah,
right.
it was Deontay. Yeah, yeah.
You see that this time of year though. I mean,
Yeah, they got the bubble guts,
yeah, and and then there's stuff going
for
around.
sniffles and stuff, and
They're
yeah.
traveling a lot more than we are.
he
So I
had
mean,
the
they're
Well,
poops again.
yeah, they're traveling
yeah,
a lot more than I am. Shit.
so they're seeing
He had
it.
the poops again.
He had the poop. So
I
the
had the
Boo Birds
poops.
were out. I can't say that I was against. I thought that
Mason Rudolph.
yeah, I was there too. I can't lie. I was sitting there on my couch watching the game, and I was booing
Oh
just
God,
as
it was brutal. Even
it was
I
brutal.
knew the outcome, what was going to happen. I'm sitting there watching. I'm like,
Yeah. And that's like I said, I had it because of my work schedule. I had to
mm-hmm.
watch it in increments, and I was kind of glad that I didn't get to watch the remainder of the game in real time. I would have not been in a great mood. But guys, we do. It is the day after the Steeler game, so we are going to grade by position. Yeah,
Oh, this might be the easiest grading of all time.
this is going to be grade by position. Derpy, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So what I'm going to do, Derpy, I'm going to start with you this week.
Derpy.
We're going to go position by position, and you're going to grade every position on how you felt that they played last night against New England. So here we go. Derpy, how do you grade quarterback play? How do you grade quarterback play for the Steelers yesterday? Mitch Trubisky, what do you think?
I'm gonna chuck it downfield with a grade of a D.
All right. I like that. Way to add an element of entertainment. That was nice. Mike, over to you. What do you think? How do you think that Mitch Trubisky graded out last night?
God, I'm gonna go a D plus.
Okay.
A D plus. He turned it around a little bit in the second half until the end there.
Say what you will, but he's thrown touchdowns. That's encouraging.
3 touchdowns he did.
Touchdowns, interceptions.
Yeah.
All
and you know what, Mike,
prayers on 4th and 2.
This is nothing that you didn't say though.
But this is it was a Mitch Trubisky game.
This was your take. You said he's going to throw the ball. We might get touchdowns, but we might get interceptions, but he will be more aggressive. And you know what? You nailed it right on the head. Guys, I think the D area would be a good area for him. And some people might even go lower, but you know what?
I saw some F's thrown about.
The running back position. Now I'm talking about Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, and even the leading rusher, Mitch Trubisky. Mike or Derpy, what do you think about the running back position, and what do you give them as a grade?
I'm gonna give them B minus.
All right. Mike, over to you. The running game of the Pittsburgh Steelers, a once proud running franchise. What do you give the team last night for their running game?
A D plus.
Okay. It's Mike's starting to sound like my old report cards.
I'm not gonna say I did a little scoop and a little scouting on your report card there.
Yeah.
But, I wasn't creeping or nothing.
Tight ends, Derpy, Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington, Connor Hayward. What do you give the tight end group as a whole last night?
A C.
Okay. Mike, tight ends.
D plus.
How is it okay?
What did you say?
I said D plus.
D
plus. Connor Hayward was 0 for 1 passing. That kind of ruined it.
Well, that would be the quarterback's fault then.
I don't have the video up right now. It's reading something else, and I heard just Ryan go, ugh. And I just pictured it all in my head.
What a dumb play for right there and that particular.
I was waiting to see your blood pressure
rise
back up to what it was in the first 2 minutes of the show. I was just waiting to get you back to that level.
Wide receivers.
Can't sleep. Oh wait, stupid ads playing. My bad, boys.
Deontay Johnson, George Pickens. I guess that was really it. I mean,
that was about it.
Calvin Austin had a nice run, but
Allen Robinson had that 20 some odd yard reception.
What do you think? What would you give the receivers, Derpy?
C plus.
All right. And it wasn't like they were dropping ball. I mean, Mike, what do you give the receivers?
D plus.
All right.
Not a lot of separation.
And then finally, on the offensive side of the ball, Derpy, what do you give this offensive line? What do you give the Hogs up front? The running game,
I'm gonna give him a C.
Mike, the offensive line.
I'm gonna go C minus.
All right.
They kept only 2 sacks.
No,
bad.
you're right. It wasn't like they didn't look terrible. It was just New England seemed to know where we were going.
Yeah, but
every freaking play.
That run defense is a solid run defense group. So
and I shudder to say that the fact that New England seemed to know where we were going every single play. And people in the past would say, well, they're the Patriots. And that, but you know what? I honestly could say that this was a very, very generic offense.
We went from the Matt Canada Madden playbook down to the Faulkner Sullivan Techno Bowl. Yep, you stole it right out of my mouth. Techno Bowl playbook, man. They've somehow made it worse.
It's unbelievable. Guys, we got to get.
I wish I was wrong.
I wish you were hyperbolic. Too. I wish you were wrong so we could fight about it, but
fuck. No, I don't like it when we fight. It makes me sad.
You do. Yes, you do.
No, I don't. It makes me sad.
Defensive line, Derpy.
You told me I'm no longer your wife.
Well.
I called you a control freak.
Once I reach over and smack you,
I'm all emotional. I'm eating on the show.
Once I reach over and smack you, then it could be like you're like my wife again. So beat you a little bit.
I'll be over at the studio later. So yeah.
And I know I do not encourage.
We don't encourage.
We don't encourage.
Condone.
No,
we don't. Yeah.
We just like to beat the shit out of each other occasionally.
Defense, guys, defensive line. Mike briefly brought them up, and they, you know what? Go ahead. I don't want to put I don't want to put words in your mouth. Derpy, defensive line. What do you give these guys?
Give me a B minus just because Cam Hayward did something.
Yeah, man, a nice game. No two ways about it. Mike, defensive line.
I did call it. I did say this would be a Cam Hayward game.
Yeah, this is one of the
This is one of the good games that everyone will say, "Oh, Cam just played great this year."
Right. Cam is one of the best in the league. And the thing is, I mean, you obviously you hear us saying that he's not, and you obviously hear us giving our arguments on that. But go back and watch the games this year as we have. I mean, how many of these games can you say that Cam Hayward looked like one of the best in the league? Last night having the game that he had, do you still think he looks like one of the best in the league? Think of when you're watching Aaron Donald. Think about when you're watching these guys who are consistently being productive on the defensive line. He's just not that. Maybe at one time, and you know what? He's played on our team for 40 years, so yes, he does have a lot of sacks and linebackers, guys.
I didn't get my grade.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mike. I'm gonna go C.
All right. I didn't think the line.
They didn't do that great. They didn't do that bad. They limited 81 yards rushing. The longest run was 12 yards. So it's not bad.
Linebackers, Derpy. We have TJ Watt got kicked in the head. We have Landon Roberts. All these guys. What do you think? Linebacking core.
Give me a B.
B for the linebackers, Mike. What do you think about the linebacking core? Inside, outside, all around.
Well, I'm gonna go a C. It's a solid C. Nothing spectacular. Nothing too bad. Shout out to people like Blake Martinez who came in off the street.
Yeah,
my boy, Michael Walker with the pick. But like you said, Landon Roberts, Nick Herbig stepping up big time. He talked about one of the steals of the draft.
And that's the thing. I mean, we were getting shredded. Our defense was getting shredded by this 2-win offense. But those particular guys, as I said, if you're looking for a silver lining, Nick Herbig, he was all over the place. Landon Roberts was. These guys did play good football. Alex Highsmith, Alex Highsmith. What's your? I don't even think I've seen him. I think
he got hurt. I know he got hurt.
Brian Reynolds, everybody.
What's up?
Your Pittsburgh Pirate Reynolds for Alex Highsmith.
Yeah. Overpaid and overrated. But yeah, he did get hurt, so I'm not going to talk shit on the guy because, you get taken out of the game. That's, but
But-
he's had like what 2 good games this year. He's the new Cam Hayward. We'll have
Yeah.
2 to 3 good games, and everyone will rant and rave about those 2 good games.
He'll be laughing all the way to the bank.
More power to him, baby, because I wish I had that ability.
Defensive backs, the safeties, corners, pass defense. Guys, what do you give the defensive backs, Derpy?
Give me a C minus.
Okay. I was gonna say these guys, you feel something, say, because we got shredded. Don't be afraid to
Mhm.
give your honest opinion. Mike, defensive backs.
D plus. My God, they got destroyed.
Where
especially
are
in
they
that
half
first-
of the time? Why does it seem like everybody's always wide open when they play the Steelers? You watch
I
games,
don't know.
guys can't get off of DBs. You're watching these games
Mm.
around the league. Why is there never anybody around these receivers?
Okay, is it me?
Is
Or-
this is not the
or is
dumbest
it like
game
a-
plan you've ever seen?
Or is it the Steelers' philosophy since like the Bill Cowher era of, oh, it's 3rd and 3. Let's line 12 yards off the wide receiver and wonder how they got open. It's 3rd and 15, 25 yards off the guy. I don't get it. We allow these receivers to get so quick off
Why don't
the
these things
line.
ever get fixed? That's my problem.
It's been plaguing them since the 90s, and it doesn't change. I swear it's a philosophical thing. I don't get it. Whereas other team we play, their corners are jamming us within that 5-yard window like they're allowed to.
And you can't, you're watching these teams play us. We can't move. We can't get off the line. If you do, you have people underneath, people over top, people jumping in and making. You watch these guys catch passes for New England. There was nobody 13 yards of these guys.
No. I don't get it.
It's sickening. Special teams, Derpy. As far as special teams went, Killebrew, nice block punt. Put us in a good situation. There was a shank that Harvin had early in the game, which didn't move. It didn't really cause anything one way or the other. But how many games are you going to get that one shank punt? I'd like to see a little bit more consistency from Harvin. Derpy, special teams. What do you think?
Give me a B plus.
Yeah, they were hardly the problem. Mike, what do you think about special teams?
I'm gonna give it A minus.
Yeah, they were all right.
Yeah, like you said, Harvin had that one bad pump, but he had that booming 53-yarder. Balls with the 56-yarder.
Yeah, exactly. So
let's not give up. Let's not give Boz an opportunity to win it, or at least tie it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can't leave play. Yeah, man.
I know. It's like
coaching guys. I want to know about what you guys would grade the coaching from the game yesterday. I'm talking about head coach. I'm talking about offensive coordinator. I'm talking about other offensive coordinators. I'm talking about defense, special teams. Derpy, top to bottom, what do you give this coaching staff for their performance last night?
Everybody wants Tomlin gone. It's not just Tomlin. The team is a team, so I'm gonna go. Give me C minus.
Mike, what do you give the coaching staff?
D plus. I don't mind the trick play. I get it because nothing else was working. Why not say fuck it? We're gonna try a trick play. But and we were able to.
Almost got intercepted.
We shut them out. We shut them out in the second half. So they made adjustments. You can see adjustments were made, but outside of that, it's the same mistakes we're seeing week in, week out. It's old. It's tiresome. D plus.
Overall, Derpy, what do you grade the Pittsburgh Steelers on their performance against the Patriots last night on Thursday Night Football at Acrisure Stadium? What is your final grade of the week? This is the overall grade of the Steelers. Derpy, what do you think?
C minus.
Mike?
D plus, baby. D plus.
D plus, C minus. All right, there you go, guys. That is the grades of the week on here on the Two Dumb Ninjas. We do this every week. I don't disagree with you guys. I'm just thinking, how much worse can it be to where we would be giving Fs? And
I wanted to give F, but like I said,
we
made second half. We can't because we love our Steelers.
No, I can give Fs. I have no problem.
Is this rock bottom, or is there still more? Is there a rock bottom, and we're just not there yet? That's what scares me. If this isn't rock bottom, we got big problems.
I think losing out are only winning what? It started from what was it, 5 games left in the season when we played the Cardinals.
That would be
Six,
rock bottom, yeah.
6.
yeah.
So if we go 1-5 down the stretch, 2-4 down the stretch, that's rock bottom.
Who could you see us beating it? I mean, at this particular
I
point,
can't
the
see
way
us
this,
beating anyone.
no, the way the Steelers are
Baltimore,
playing right now,
maybe.
and if it was a 1 week, as we said, if it was a 1 week thing, say you you have that clunker against the Cardinals, the fact that it got worse the following week against
Yeah.
a team just as bad record wise, that's
Mhm.
what tells me there, there's really not much to hang on at this point.
Yeah.
To win any of these games against, again, the Colts, who's playing good football, they're trying to get in the playoffs. Bengals, same thing with the backup quarterback, he's playing out of his mind. Across the nation in Seattle, and then again at the end of the year against the Ravens. I can't. We might be lucky to win one game playing the way that we're playing right now, and you're not seeing any signs of things getting better. That's the problem. If you thought maybe, just maybe, they could get out of this rut that they're in, there's not many signs that are pointing to they could do that, Michael.
Yeah, the only thing I can you maybe have like a glimmer of hope is it was a short week. Mitch was finally practicing with the first team again. Now this week we don't play again until Saturday, so you're gonna have like at least 3 to 4 days of practice time where they only had 1 day of actual full practice, and you can clean up those timing issues on the offense. You can put in a fuller game plan. You have more to go with, more to work on in practice. So that's the only thing
I hope you're right.
A glimmer of hope. And if they lose this one and are just as bad, the wheels are off. The train has jumped the tracks. The Titanic is sinking. The Hindenburg has blown up.
We got about 6 minutes, guys. Let me hop over to the ice real quick. The Penguins back in action tonight. They are 11-11-3. They're down in Florida playing the 15-8-2 Panthers. That's going to be tonight at 7 o'clock.
We are one place out of last place.
Yeah,
in the Metro.
And
how the mighty have fallen in
We're
Pittsburgh.
falling fast in the AFC North as well.
You know what? It's not. It's bad to be a coach with the first name Mike in Pittsburgh right now.
Ain't that the truth? Guys, Mike, why don't you go ahead? Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
I said that, I was like, shit. The2dumbyinjers.com. Head over there. All of our links are over there. All the merch stores over there. A new blog about today's disappointing loss is up there as well. It is a must read. Check it out.
Go check it out, everybody. www.the2dumbyinjers.com. www.the2dumbyinjers.com.
And I think a lot of people will be checking out because I just check the analytics every Monday. That views shoot up because people are tuning into the blog.
All right.
I'm loving it.
Stuff. Could check it out, everybody. Guys, we're gonna start on our Colts trivia. It seems a little early to do that, but you know what? It's just the way that it is.
Palate cleanser, baby. That's how we do it here at the Two Dumb Ninjas. We just move on.
So this is going to be the Colts trivia question. We'll give you choices if you would like, but here we go. You guys ready? Derpy, are you ready?
Yes.
Derpy. All right, here we go. Who was the first kicker in NFL history to go an entire season, including the playoffs, without missing a field goal or a point after attempt? Take a moment, think this over. I'll give you choices if you'd like. We are live, everybody, 5 days a week from Monday to Friday, right here, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. In the live show that we do every day, we upload over on Spotify at 8 o'clock p.m. If you missed a show, you're in the gym or you're in the car, you could always listen to the show in podcast form over on Spotify. Check it out.
Check it out, yo.
Mike, Derpy, do either one of you guys, do you want choices on this? Do you want me to read the question again? Let me read it one more time.
Read it one more time.
Who was the first kicker in NFL history to go an entire season, including the playoffs, without missing a field goal or point after attempt? I mean, there's some names obviously that pop into your head.
Oh, yeah, I got a guess.
Would you guys like the choices, or you just want to take a stab?
I'm gonna take a stab.
All right, Derpy, are you gonna do choices or are you gonna take a stab?
I like choices, but I think I know.
All right, so let me go to Mike first. Mike, who do you think was the first kicker in NFL history to go an entire season, including the playoffs, without missing a field goal or a point after attempt?
Our liquored up idiot kicker. The one, the only, Vanderjet.
Another Mike.
Baby. Mike's are
The hot, yeah,
Oh, no, like the players and the commentator mics are great people. The coaches are bad people right now.
The ones that get liquored up are fine.
Yeah, me.
So Mike Vanderjack is your final answer.
Yeah, speaking of, I need to get liquored up. I haven't had any in a couple days. Maybe that's why I'm angry, testy.
All right. So Derpy, I'm going to give you some choices. The question again of the day. The Colts are who we play next. So we are into the Colts questions for the trivia. The Colts question of the day is, who was the first kicker in NFL history to go an entire season, including the playoffs, without missing a field goal or a PAT? Mike says Mike Vanderjack, but I'm going to give you some choices. Are you ready?
Yep.
A, was it Mike Vanderjack? Was it B, Jim O'Brien? Was it D, Adam Vinatieri? Or was it D, C was Vinatieri, D, Dean Biascucci?
Oh,
Vinatieri.
Adam Vinatieri.
I forgot about Vinatieri.
Is that your final answer, Derpy?
That's my final answer. Oh, we had.
All right, so Vinatieri locked into place. Guys, here is the question of the day. Who was the first kicker in NFL history to go an entire season, including the playoffs, without missing a field goal or PAT? Mike says Mike Vanderjack. Derpy says Adam Vinatieri. Both of these are very good guesses. I could honestly say I wouldn't know between the two who I would pick if I didn't know the answer, but the answer, guys, was A, Mike Vanderjack. Mike.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Both amazing kickers on that team, and it could have really been either one. Mike, anything before we get ready to take off for the day?
This apparently Cam Hayward is ready to see some personnel changes if guys can't do their jobs on game days. Notice he has that attitude after he actually has a good game.
Right.
Whereas, Mitch and Minka are sitting there saying, shit needs to change. And those guys even say that when they have bad games. Pointing that out there, Deontay Johnson's trying to be a better team leader than Cam Hayward. But my final thought is, I love the show. I love you guys.
All right, Derpy, over to you. What's your final thoughts? Anything that you'd like to say before we go off for the weekend?
Here we go, Steelers, even though that loss hurt.
I like the opposite.
It could be worse. It could be a Browns fan.
That's true. Is this going to be the year? Is this going to be the year that they finish better than us? We don't know. My thing of the day is this. Lincoln Park High School basketball team from Midland, Pennsylvania, right close down to Mike's way, actually, heading out his way. The Lincoln Park Leopards last week or a week or two, I said they were in the top 20 in the country. They are up to the team number 19 in the country right now. In the country, Lincoln Park.
Insane. I did not realize that.
Yeah. But I do want to say, everybody, thank you for checking us out. We appreciate each and every one of you, as always. Couldn't do it without you. For Derpy, Mike, myself, everyone have a great weekend.
Heck yeah,
from the Two Dumb Yinzers. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.